Hello and welcome to Watch with Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the pinnacle of manhood, the male form, maleness. It is Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hi. That's so sweet. Thank you. Maybe I'm the pinochle.
Pinochle. Well, you know, I just feel like after seeing this self-help guru on Below Deck Down Under, I have a greater understanding of what we need to do to support fellow men in our society, the most trampled upon demographic. And thanks to this guy who was on this boat, I'm like, you know what? Now I know we just need to touch more men. And we have to ask men, what do they want? What do men want? Because, you know, the thing is, men just don't go out and grab what they want enough on their own. So
Apparently,
thank you to this
extremely
this
inexpensive Groupon facial surgery, which is what this douchebag has. Dude, stop worrying about your fucking self-help and go get some proper eyes done, sir. Okay?
Yeah, I love that for as much as this guy is obsessed with self-help and talking about his own, you know, his own success that he's achieved, he is still like incredibly obsessive about every single calorie that goes into his body. Like there's something about like that he would say that it's because he's like a high functioning machine and needs to put probably the fuel in the machine. It's like, no, you are still dealing with the neuroses that we all deal with. Ha. So that made me happy.
I know. I love thin people who are so worried about being fat. They're my favorite. That's my favorite insecurity. I saw something on Reddit today that was like, Tate McRae, finally a normal average body in pop culture. What the fuck are you talking about?
Tate McRae.
Yeah, Tate McRae is a fucking perfect bodied. What are people talking about? They're like, finally, a full-figured woman. Shut the fuck up, all of you. I hope you all get on the boat with this douchebag and then I'll sink it.
Yeah, I think it's time. You know, famous people are getting annoying names these days. Tate McRae, Benson Boone. They all sort of sound the same. They all sound like they're, I don't know. Okay, I just officially became.
They all sound like Lonesome Dove characters.
Tate McRae, Benson Boone, Chaperone.
Tate was in love with Mason and Boone was in love with Cotton. Cotton was in love with Drip.
Drip was in love with Log. What happened to the good old days of like a Whitney Houston? You know? Okay, yeah. I'm officially.
What happened to the Rondell Wadeas of the world? That's what I know.
That's what I want to know. So anyway, today we're here to talk about Below Deck Down Under, which you might not even believe, considering how we've started this episode. That's my fault. I'm steering the ship today, and I've steered it Captain Jason style right aground. But before we get into that, we have our tour that is resuming in March, and we're going to be going to so many cities. We are going to kick things off mid-March by going back to Cincinnati, where we had a very raucous show a few years ago, and so we're excited to come back there. Minneapolis, Toronto, Charlotte, Atlanta, DC, and Philadelphia. And those are just the shows for March. There's a whole other bunch of shows for April and May, including our very first Vegas show. I'd like to point out, I feel like we haven't really emphasized that we are doing a Vegas show. And hello, that's going to be wild and super fun. But anyway, all the tickets are at watchforcrappens.com. And you can also get Patreon there, patreon.com/watchforcrappens. We're covering Traitors on Patreon. So if you want to hear our thoughts on that, go check that out. And you can also watch us with Crappens on Demand via Patreon. So go do all those fun things, okay? In the meantime, why don't we dive into Below Deck Down Under, Season 3, Episode 4, Kiss and Don't Tell.
Yeah.
That's the episode.
Kiss and Don't Tell. Maids making out, maids making out, maids making out. Second day of charter. Captain is dumping Anthony in the galley. He's like, right, start cleaning up your stuff here because we can drive you to the marina straight away. There's a line, all right? You quit, you leave immediately, all right? I'd just like to keep that line, all right? Would you like a kimono on your way out? Please, hashtag Captain Jason. Did you hear that Captain Jason's all about his kimonos because he's starting a kimono line?
I did not hear that. I'll tell you. When I want to get a kimono, the first person I look to is a yacht captain. I'm excited about this. Okay, so he has a kimono line coming out. That's
yeah,
exciting.
I just searched Captain Jason Kimono Lounge, and it's called Captain Jason Chambers' Cabin. Is that what it's called? The Captain's Lounge? Oh, it's called the Captain's Lounge.
With the
And
vibes
if
of
you go on
chill.
his Facebook, you can see him lying back in a kimono and giving sexy eyes to the camera. I don't think this is going to work for a lot of people. Well, say this right now.
Okay, well, here's what's funny. If you go on, so he has an Instagram page.
Look at
called
Harry. Look at Harry. Are you looking at the Facebook thing? Harry comes out modeling one with his goofy face. He's like, I'm in a kimono. Can you believe it?
So I can't even deal with that. So so he has on Captain Jason's Instagram, he has a link to another Instagram that's the Captain's Lounge, which is for these kimonos. And he's done the thing. There's only 6 posts, and they create a mosaic. And then you know how when people do that, like if you look at your grid, it creates an overall picture. So the 6 pictures together, you have the logo that says Captain's Lounge, and then and then he's like lounging across the sofa in the kimono. But the problem is this mosaic was clearly created when Instagram was making the grid look like a whole bunch of squares. But Instagram recently changed their grid to be a whole bunch of rectangles, which means that this entire mosaic is all messed up. And what it looks like it says is Captain's Dung, because because the L and the E got cut off and the line is going through the O. So it looks like it says Captain's Dung.
Oh my gosh. Charting a new course, how moving to the Philippines changed my life. When I made the bold move to a beautiful and remote spot in the Philippines a few years back, I was searching for a new adventure and a fulfilling life for myself and my family. This journey wasn't without its challenges, so I took off my underwear and put on some silk. Captain's Lounge.
So Captain's Lounge, I'm on the official website. It's a personal blog and online store. Notably, not a single kimono on the page. That's fine.
Noticing that. Yeah, I'm looking for it. Well, wait, let me go to shop. My online store is launching soon. Well, you know my ass is going to be on this store.
Captain Jason lounging in a kimono. Get on the mailing list to get your complimentary kimono.
It's the Captain's Lounge. Wow, love it. That said, I don't think that fashion's going to work for me. If anything, I need like, I don't know, the 5 snuggies, whatever. I'm not really a kimono type. I don't think I could pull off a kimono.
I don't know if I'm a kimono type either, but maybe. I don't know. You never know. You never know till you try it. Little sassy thigh revealing kimono.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, he's firing that douchebag Anthony. So Anthony's just like, okay. And so then he points to Serena like, okay, you got your wish. Now have fun doing everything yourself. And she's like, oh, God, I need to kick into gear. Yeah, everything's going to be fine. Yeah, everything's going to be fine down here.
She starts to spiral and spirals the rest of the episode. So then now Captain Jason is telling Lara that Anthony's leaving and that he's got some CVs, but it's going to take time for people to get to the Seychelles. And so then Anthony's going around being like, well, I'm off skis. And he immediately changes out of his uniform and he gets into his T-shirt in that strange straight jacket way that he did last week where he drops the shirt all the way down to his waist, but keeps his hands by his waist and then squeezes his hands up through the shirt and into the sleeves. First of all, you're also stretching out your shirt when you do that, which is, ridiculous. And second of all, you're unhinged. You're a lunatic. How are you putting on your shirts that way? This speaks to your instability, and I do not trust you whatsoever.
Speaks to your instability. How you put on your shirt speaks to yours. I think that he's maybe like Houdiniing it. Like he's always trying to figure out a problem. Like, this shirt's lazy. Shirt doesn't do what it's supposed to do, mate. And just like trying to like crawl through the shirt. Like, wow, you're the man. You got through your shirt. Congratulations.
He just thinks outside the box like he does with his cuisine. So he says, he's telling people, he tells Johnny, like, I got offered another job, mate. And everyone's talking like, oh my God, Anthony's leaving. Oh, that's crazy. And he goes, and then Johnny's really sad about it. He's like, this is the saddest news I've gotten today. But to be fair, it's the only news I've gotten today. So slow news day. Am I right? Huh, okay, bye.
So Vion's like, oh fuck, this industry ain't for the faint-hearted, eh, mate? And they're like, yeah. And so Adair calls it. She's like, Serena's gonna freak. She's gonna freak y'all. And so he's now saying bye to Brianna, and then he's telling us, I feel really confident about my decision to leave. As I look back on the season, the one regret I had was taking the job in the first place. I just wish we could follow him to watch him fail miserably at his next job, because I have a feeling he will.
I know. I actually really hope that Bravo hires him to be the head chef on another Below Deck so we can just see him fail miserably. Like, I really, really want that. And knowing his cocky ass, he probably would come back to Below Deck to be like, now everyone can see what I'd be like as a head chef. Well, you know what? If you can't put your shirt on correct, you can't put tartar on a cracker. So, relax.
Yeah. You put on a shirt like you sous vide an octopus.
Yeah.
Badly.
Poorly.
So he's like, yeah, I'm excited to be a head chef in the next boat, cook things my way, not be pushed into a box.
Right. Well, we saw how you cook things your way. Sous vide octopus. So then Anthony leaves. He's gone. Bye-bye. And Captain Jason's texting, Australian Norma and being like, hey there, I need a sous chef right away. Can I get some CVs? And she's like, bloop, bloop, sure, right away. Get you someone as soon as possible.
She's like, I'll send you some CVs as long as you promise to wear pants. All right. We're having a problem with HR on the kimono, sir. All right.
So Jason's like, well, man down on deck. We need to find another sous chef very quickly, and we can't let that affect the guest experience. The show must go on. So I'm going to get the guests I'm going to get the guests off, go for a dive, allow the crew to reset, check out that moray eel down below who's been saying hello to the camera every single episode, and get ready for round 2.
And Australian Norma is named Shelley. And she's like, last minute, but we'll look and get back to you. Yeah, Shelley, we know it's last minute. I love Shelley's attitude. She's like, oh, little last minute. In it. In it.
Sorry, Shelley. Sorry for interrupting your viewing of Australian Matlock, but could you please get to the hiring of the CVs of the chefs and stuff?
So then the drinks are delivered to the guests while Serena is like, oh, now that Anthony's gone, I've just got so much more to do. Cleaning, cooking. I've got to do everything, don't I? Yeah, welcome back to being a chef on Below Deck, where you don't have help,
You did it all last season, and you will do it again now.
You'll do it again. So, I believe in you. Just kidding. But I'm excited to see whatever happens.
Yeah. So Brianna's asking if they're going to bring her like any extra help and everything. And Serena's saying how like crew food was Anthony's role. And now I'm having to take it on. It's just, 12 extra people to cook for. The potential for burnout is very high. And I don't know if I can handle it, but I'm going to die trying, or at least I'll complain trying.
Yeah, and her face is giving me confidence. This is her face. She just looks terrified. So this is going to happen immediately. So Brianna's like, well, what do you think is going to happen with Harry? She's like, oh, God, I don't know, but I worry about the season without my boy. I worry about it. Because let's not forget, Harry is in the hospital about to die from a thumbnail emergency. So he could be gone at any second. So Brianna's like, I was really looking forward to getting to know him. We haven't had our talk about kissing.
And Serena's like, yeah, it's not fair. She goes, well, just let me know how I can help you through this charter, and also let me know if Harry said anything about the kiss. Did he mean it? Was it an accident? Did he even know who I was? Did he think he was kissing an AI rendition of something or version of something? I don't know. Just please tell me. So then outside on the deck, this guy Eric he's the primary. He's doing like a online coaching video call on Zoom, and he's like, hey guys, you can't all be talk and no action, and you'll feel that pressure. You better walk the walk. It puts a whole new type of accountability and pressure on you, okay? Because that's the way the cookie crumbles. No use crying over spilled milk, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Nice work if you can get it. Am I right?
He's like, bras. All right, look. A bird in your hand, is that really better than 2 birds in the bush? You know what I say? Fuck birds. Kill the fucking birds. Rip their skin off and eat them. You need the protein, all right? Who needs 3 birds? You do, all right? Swallow the fucking birds. What are you going to keep them the rest of your life? Waste not, want not. That's what I always say.
Here's a question. If a wolf comes across a bird in the forest, what's the wolf going to do? The wolf's going to eat the fucking bird. Be the wolf. Don't be the bird, okay? Eat the bird. Then, go take a shit somewhere, because that's what the wolf will probably do afterwards. Then maybe take a nap. Wolves take naps. It's okay. If you take a nap, you're a real man. Part of being in the light is it fast forces your progress in life. That's why wolves love light, because wolves hang out in the light to fast forward their progress. It's obvious, guys.
if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one to hear it, then that tree sucked and it didn't deserve to be in there in the first place. That's why I say raise all the fucking forests. All right? We need more paper in this world and less fucking iPads. Staring at your iPad so much is what causes blindness, not masturbation. Masturbate on a full flat land with no trees. That's what I always say.
Yeah, if a tree falls in a forest, does a wolf still do intermittent fasting if it doesn't feel well? Abso-fucking-lutely. You can't stop the wolf from changing its dietary routines. Fuck you, tree.
This guy is such a fucking douchebag. And not only is he just a regular douchebag, he's also just terrible at his job. I mean, as someone who's read a lot of self-help books, now listen, I'm not saying they stuck, but I have read a lot of them. And this is just so hack. He's like a self-help book reader of like, I don't know, signed from a Home Goods, you know? He's like, live, laugh, love. That's what I always say, bro. Paris, 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 Paris. Kitchen. It's like kitchen, bro. Kitchen. This is the fucking kitchen.
Yeah, this awful like manosphere that has like arisen in our pop culture is just like it's just like the worst thing of all time. And now you got all these guys who are trying to be like Joe Rogan, or Joe Rogan's not even trying to be like this. I mean, I don't follow Joe Rogan closely, but this guy is just fully doing seminars like Tom Cruise and Magnolia, but like it's all from this kind of like Joe Rogan space of like brah. And it's the worst thing of all time, I have to say. It's just
Magnolia.
awful.
He sucks. And he's like, yes, hey guys, Magnolia. Part of being in the light, it fast forces your progress in life. Being in the light is the last thing you need. Get a hat on, okay? Your skin looks like a fucking baseball glove.
You're right. It does fast forward your progress in life. Enjoy those melanomas. So,
and I also love people that are only successful from telling poorer people that they're successful. All of his success is based on just telling poor people that they're losers and they're dumb enough to pay him because he has like muscles and he's on a boat. You know, stupid poor people. Stop it, poor people. I'm never going to do this. You should say no to douchebags who are trying to tell you they can make you richer. Okay. You know what can make you richer? Jesus.
Jesus. Eric Rock. Okay. So his Instagram has 5,000 followers. Okay. So that's, I wouldn't, honestly, I would say that the average successful wolf that's leading a Zoom conference probably should have more than 5,000 followers.
Wait, but they said on here that he had self-help.
And there's also Real Eric Rock. So he has 2 Instagram accounts. Maybe one's a backup. That one has 130,000 followers.
Yeah, there we go.
Which is way more than what I have, for instance. But I feel like it's about 400,000 followers short of how many you need to be doing seminars and being like, I've found success. Because I think we all, like, if you're saying I found success, but you only have 130,000 followers instead of 500,000, I don't know, sir. I don't know if you found success. I think you've just... You found like a nice amount, but like you need to have 500,000 before you start talking like that. I'm sorry.
Well, here's his first post. Something big is coming. It's the Coeur d'Alene Summit. And then he has pictures of like famous football players and stuff. And he's like, so excited to share the why behind this event. The depth, meaning, power, and promise every speaker is bringing. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So seats will sell out. We're redefining success. Now success is 130,000 Instagram followers. Send me your money.
Yeah, his big speaker is Tim Tebow.
Well, he's successful, right?
I mean, he's successful, but he was also, I think, like a little bit of a bust too. Like he came into the NFL with like a huge amount of hype, and he got to the playoffs at one point, but like he was not what you would call like a legendary NFL player.
Well, here's what
I guess
he's extremely hot because I'm watching him right now. One of these inspirational videos.
He's so hot.
So let me tell you what he's doing in this video. He's wearing a skin tight black shirt, which I love, with a gold chain over it. And he's yelling at a stadium full of people. And he's got a big screen behind him with starving children in Africa. And he's yelling at the audience. So if you guys don't want to be a starving child in Africa, go hear what Tim Tebow has to say, because he's going to change it. Because then there's a shot of a Porsche, and then there's Eric in a really bad toupee. So I don't know. I'm sold.
Listen. when a wolf is losing its hide, does it just walk around the forest without its hide? No, it finds another animal and puts the other animal's hide on its back. That's what a wolf does. So you know what? Stop shading my toupee. That's what a wolf would do.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial. So let's move on here.
So his
we have
Eric's
plenty
friend
of time
Victoria.
to make fun of stupid Eric. I was looking at emails because I was wondering if we got an email from him.
Oh my goodness. Victoria is his friend, and she seems to be disenchanted with Eric. I feel like Victoria was friends with Eric back in college or something, and now I was like, why is my friend a douchebag now? Because she's talking to other people, and she's like, well, at the end of the day, we're all here because of Eric. You get nothing but nothing, but we're all here because of Eric, and like I feel like Eric. I guess it's more like I knew him more on a one-on-one basis, and being with him in more of a group setting is different. Is he always this douchey? I don't seem to remember him being this douchey.
And Brittany.
I don't like it.
Thought you were done. So Brittany, who is, one of the other guests and new to the world of Eric Rock, I would assume, goes, you mean like confidence wise? And she goes, yeah. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, how do I say cocksucking douchebag with that? I don't know if it's a healthy confidence or if it's an overly cocky confidence. And he's still going on and on and on. And then it just cuts back to her and she goes, like, really judgy. Yeah. So we cut back to Eric, and he's still on his laptop, and he's wearing bracelets. You know those Lance Armstrong one nut bracelets?
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing those, except instead of saying live strong, they're like, no excuses. And then another one says, slay the dragon. I've never rooted for a dragon more in my life than I have.
I specifically am going to encourage people to come up with excuses just out of spite for this guy. All the excuses. I'm wearing a bracelet. If you have an excuse, just generate one. I will accept it right now, just to counteract this guy's bullshit. And also, like, what a non-creative or uncreative tagline. No excuses. You could do better than that, Eric. Come on now. And if you can't do better, then that's an excuse.
Guys, you know what you need to live? You need to breathe. All right, that'll be $5,000.
So he has this wisdom to impart on his very sad followers. He's like, why do men suck at communication? It's hard for me to answer that question, man, which is hilarious because
you're charging for this.
He's like, but naturally, men historically in our DNA are great communicators. Oh, Ronnie, did you know that we actually have a gene that makes us good communicators? That's really good, which is funny that it's hard for him to answer that question because he has a gene that makes him a good communicator. So I don't know.
You know how much you can communicate to someone by slapping them in the face with your dick? All right. That's what men have. That's what men have. Do you feel like you're failing somewhere in life? Do you? Well, I can't really explain it.
Listen, the only people that communicate better than men, wolves. So then Captain Jason is like, all right, everyone, Vian, we got scuba diving with the guest. She'll be there within 20 minutes as soon as this ridiculous online seminar is over. So they're going to get
Vian's like, copy that. Yes, copy that. I've got a bracelet that says that. If you see someone doing something right, copy that. No excuses. Take a breath.
I want to introduce everyone on Zoom. I want to introduce you to my two new bracelets. On the left hand, it says see something. On the right hand, it says say something. Yeah, man.
I came out with a line of underwear that says terrorism sucks. Hey, guys, here's my advice. Don't be a terrorist. All right. And let's cut to a video of my friend Tebow. Tebow, what do you have to say? Don't be a starving child in Africa either. Nailed it, Tebow. That's why Tebow gets paid the big bucks. You think that gold necklace around his skin tight white or black shirt paid for itself? No.
So then Zarina's like, deck crew, can I have some help with the plates, please? In retrospect, Zarina should not have gone running to Jason. She should have said, oh, so you're going to quit. Great. Clean all my dishes. Like, she should have made his life torture for the rest of the charter. And anytime he piped up, she would say, "Not my problem, not my circus, not my clowns, not my elephants, not my trapeze. Do the dishes."
Yeah, exactly. I think she should have done the same thing. I think just getting rid of him was a bad idea. And I don't know that it was necessarily her idea. I mean, that was Jason who did it. But I think she was looking more for like a friend to bitch with. And here's another thing I'll say while I'm saying that. I think that the reason that Aisha needs to be on this show and not the other one is that she makes Captain Jason more fun. Like she brings kind of she brings out his lighthearted nature, where I think Serena brings out his scolding nature because she needs a little bit more. I think that he's more fun when Aisha's here. There, I said it.
I like his scolding nature. I like it when he scolds. I mean, I definitely loved that he basically kicked Anthony off the boat right then and there mid-charter. That was like great and wonderful. But I also worried that Anthony didn't really realize that he had fucked up. You know, I think Anthony was like, great, I can get off this boat. It's like, no, you should be ashamed of yourself. Look at all these people you're letting down. You should be mortified. And so, like, I feel like it would have actually been, in retrospect, more effective to torture Anthony by making him do tons and tons of dishes for the next 36 hours.
Yeah, and speaking of men communicating, I would have rather hi, I'm your captain, and guess who you are? Nothing. All right, you're a fucking underling. You're a sous chef. You work for Serena. Don't even look her in the eye. You're going to do your fucking dishes and you're going to do the crew food. I don't want to hear anything from you. And that's it. The fucking end. Yeah. Now go downstairs and do your fucking job. I don't like letting him off the hook by just like, oh, okay, you know, then we're taking away 2 charters. I mean, I get the reasoning behind it, you know, and I'm not a captain for a very good reason. You want to talk about crashing into fucking docks. But, you know, I would rather see this man get yelled at.
Yeah, me too. So, and miserable. I want to see him miserable. So now Captain Jason is texting Harry. He's like, all right, Harry, I'm about to go diving. Hope you're okay. I'll say hi to the eel for you. And then in the kitchen, Johnny walks in and helps out with the dishes and stuff. And the women are cleaning up in the various rooms. And Laura is telling Marina to get into her wets because Marina's going to go diving. Because as some people may remember, Vion invited Marina to go on this dive without consulting Lara first. And now
which Marina somehow took as hitting on her?
Yeah, Marina really was like, yeah, she saw a lot in this.
Marina is now in love because someone let her go snorkeling. I mean, the woman doesn't ask for much, okay? And it comes from a long line of below deck women not really asking for much. I need you to ask for more, okay? Women with below deck. Yeah. So Lara's telling us, yeah, you know, Vian didn't ask me permission to take her. And that's absolute bullshit. I can't wait to say nothing about this.
So we see flashbacks of that. And then Lara's like, now my hands are tied. If I take that away from her, I'm the bad guy. Thanks, Vian. I'll be the bad guy. Come on. You're the
I didn't hire you to be a good guy. I hired you to make people iron beds. That's it.
Yeah.
Brianna is like, did anyone hear from Harry? Did he talk about kissing me? How does he feel about it? And Vian's like, not yet. I thought he would message you. She's like, oh God. What did he say? I thought he would message you. Why was that funny? He doesn't have thumbs.
I forget. At the moment when I saw it, I got it, but then now I don't remember why. And then I guess it's because Harry, I guess he's implying that like Harry likes Brianna, so he would text Brianna. I don't know, but either way, Adira goes, ha 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 ha. That took me a second. I think it's probably an ongoing motif.
I'm going to say the same thing I said on the mud racking boat. It took me a second.
I'm gonna say the same thing as I said when that couple tried to abduct me. Ha 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 ha. Wait. Oh, I see. That took me a second. I'm abducted.
All right, Nino, I've got to go diving. All right, you're in charge of the boat. You're in charge of the boat. And Nino's like, oh, hi, I'm the first officer, also a terrible storm. And
a pizza chef.
And 1 letter away from Teresa's grandpa. So Brianna is texting Harry. She's like, I hope you get good news today. I hope I get good news too. Did you enjoy the kiss?
And the guests are gathering, and some people who I guess did not go on the excursion want some champagne, etc., or want some shots. And Laura's like, "Would you like some champagne as well?" And they're like, "Fuck yeah, I do." I'm like, "Okay, all right." They're really excited. Erica's off the boat.
So then Adair and Vian are wiping down the deck, and he hands her a towel, and she goes, "What is this?" And he's like, "It's dirty." She goes, "Okay, I'll wipe my butt with it now."
So now Lara's talking to Zarina about dinner and everything, and Zarina's like, "I mean, I just have a lot of fucking shit to do now. It's like I'm just a bit behind with Survivor." And Lara's like, "We'll make it work." And meanwhile, off on the scuba boat, they're all scuba diving, and Marina's saying like, "What an amazing feeling. Like when I was young, my dad took me to go on scuba diving trip, and it was like an amazing experience, and it changed my whole life. And I just felt like I was in space, but underwater and with fish, and nothing compares to it except for space, I guess. But I'm just so thankful to Vian for giving me this opportunity."
Yeah, she's putting too much into this.
Loves it. She loves it. She's having the best time.
I went scuba diving with my father, so it means something. So Harry's back. He's on the radio. He's like, crew, I'm back, baby. Did you miss me? Yeah. And he's like, guess what? It's not fractured. The doctor says just don't use the sand for the next few days. And guess I'm going to have to do everything one-handed, eh?
I feel like I'm pushed to the bench, but I got a text message from someone who said, "I hope you get good news today." And I said, "Good news from the X-ray and less pain today. Thanks for checking in. X. A little X in there just to make my intentions clear. Although now that I see it, it looks like I'm just referring back to the X-ray. And I wonder if she's saying, maybe she thinks I just either kissed a manta ray or I'm being flirty with her. I'm not sure. Maybe that text didn't land properly."
I mean, I wouldn't sign things X to somebody I like. They're just going to leave you for another platform. So Harry is checking in with Johnny, and he's updating him and about the douchebag, the other douchebag, the skinny little douchebag leaving, the sous chef. And now Adair's vacuuming, and let's see. So Harry goes in to check with Serena, and it's like, "I was so worried about you." He's like, "Don't worry, everything's fine, X."
What does that mean? Eggs? Not following. Eggs? Eggs? You want eggs? Is that what you're saying? I can't. Harry, I'm afraid you're going to have to speak more of plain English for me.
So then Vian checks with him, and Harry's like, "Oh, it's not broken. She doesn't want me to use this hand, though, and this can't get wet. So I'm going to do anything that only requires one hand." And he's like, "Great. Welcome back."
Well, oh, okay. So Vian's like, "Well, I'm quite relieved, but he can't do diving excursions. He cannot do water sports, and this is what this charter vest is all about. So we're in a very tough position where we're going to have to make it work." I mean, why doesn't Harry just do the stuff that Marina can't do right now? Since Marina's off with the eels and the fish.
I think that's what they're moving him into, because when he talks to the captain's like, "Have fun making beds," or whatever. So then Lara is like, "Well, you can make beds with one hand," and he's like, "I think today I'll rest." "No, I think you've already been at the hospital. That's a rest. Get to work."
So now the guests are done.
Tired.
If you got time to have a broken thumb, you got time to get stuff done.
If you got time to throb, you got time to polish this knob. Wait, I've just been reported to HR. Okay, that's not good management.
If you got time to be in pain, you got time to clean this window pane. Technically, two different words, so the rhyme counts. So the swimmers or the scuba people are done scuba diving. They're getting back on their boat. They had a great time. And then Brianna's talking to Lara, and she's like, "Do you think that Harry meant to kiss me? I'm so confused by it. I mean, he sent me an X, but then I was like, did he mean to say more? Was he going to talk about the X-Files? I didn't really like that show." And Lara's like, "Well, of course he did. He's obsessed with you." It's like, really? Huh, sure. I could solve my own problem and talk to Harry about the kiss, but Harry kissed me. He can say something to me about it.
Why do you have to talk about it? I've gotten full-on blowjobs that I haven't talked about after. What's to talk about? He kissed you. The kissing was the talk. Like, seriously, do we
kissing
have to
was
have
the
a
top.
full-on discussion about everything? Yeah, he kissed you. What's the discussion? I just don't understand. So Laura's like, well, I need to step in at some point, I think. I need these baby giraffes. If Eon doesn't send them scuba diving, that is. So now Harry goes to bed, and the guests are coming back, and Captain still hasn't heard from Harry. So he's like, what the hell? And he finds out he's in the cabin. Meanwhile, Captain Jason is invited by Randy to come to dinner tonight. Dun, 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 Serena's first dinner solo.
Yeah. So, Laura, tonight's gonna be casino night. So Laura is saying, because it's casino night, she wants all the boys to wear bow ties and feel like, she's like, I feel like it needs to be black ties, like Monte Carlo, which is funny because they're all come out like shirtless, I think, right? Aren't they like shirtless in black tie, which is kind of funny for this group of like super heterosexual men. So,
Well, Monte Carlo do they do that there? I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's
Chippendales does it. Chippendales. Were they shirtless? In my mind, they were shirtless. Maybe they weren't shirtless at all. Maybe I just saw the bow tie and I just saw torsos in my mind. Were they shirtless?
No, they were shirtless. Yeah, the boys here.
Okay,
yeah,
they were shirtless.
Yeah, because when Harry came out, I was like, wow, a string bean and a bow tie feels like Monte Carlo.
Erica's like, these guys all have good bodies, but they didn't take my seminar. How is this possible? So
Eric's like, wait a minute. You all work out every day? So who told you no excuses?
So Laura's asking Zarina what the menu is for tonight, for casino night, no less. And so Zarina's like, so it'll be a mini French onion soup with truffle grilled cheese and then steak. It's, very knife and fork. It's like, all right, knife and fork. But there's a soup in there, Zarina. this was seems to be a low-key ongoing issue. Like Zarina is very reluctant to pull the trigger on spoons. She's like, well, it's a soup. But I did put a sandwich in there, so let's just go fork and knife only. Fork and knife only. I'm sorry, we can't do the spoons. It's too early in the season to start putting out the spoons.
Have you ever seen someone this obsessed with soup? I've never seen someone
soup.
serve more soup on this show. I mean, soup's fine. I'm not dissing soup as a old one, but why? Why so many? She'll serve 2 or 3 in one meal. She loves the soup. Do you think she has digestion problems? I think she has digestion problems.
She loves making soup. She loves it.
Soup.
She does love it. I think that though this entire season has been people just sweating and little things on the side of the screen that says it's 145% humidity and 3,000 degrees out. So naturally, French onion soup. What a perfect time to serve it.
With a sandwich right in the middle of it.
A heavy, cheesy sandwich right in the middle of it. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, and so finally she's like, oh my God, I've got so many grilled cheeses to make. Did I fuck up by getting rid of my sous chef? Yeah. But also, grilled cheese is like the easiest thing you could be making right now. So, and I really like Serena. I feel like I'm being really hard on Serena, but I really like her. I just don't know what she's up to right now. It's hard to figure out.
Yeah, she's really losing the thread. So she's like, I'm running out of time. And she's like, fuck me. This is already such a big add-on to the anxiety and that I already have going on right now. Did I totally fuck up by losing my sous chef mid-charter? You did, because you could have tortured him instead. It was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Can you hear my chair, by the way? I have a question. Do you hear my chair? My chair makes so much noise. This is a newer chair. I bought it like 2 months ago, and it's very creaky. Do you hear it on the podcast?
No, I don't.
You don't hear any of this?
Well, I do when you're quiet and you do it.
Like all this noise?
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, I hear that.
I don't know how to fix it.
Mine
if anyone has
doesn't too.
ideas, like if anyone has ideas to make a chair less creaky, please let me know. Thank you.
I thought losing weight would help, but it didn't. My chair still creak, and then you're thin, and your chair still creaks. So I guess it's
I miss my
that's one
Shannon.
thing. Like you think losing weight's gonna like help in so many ways that it just doesn't. I was like, oh
Remember?
my God, I'm gonna be married and be happy, and I'm gonna have so much money, and like I'm gonna smile so much. It didn't work. None of that worked. Okay, but I can fit in the plane seat better, so that's good.
That's good. That's good. So honestly,
Not
though,
really,
Ronnie,
I'd rather
no
eat,
excuses, bro. No excuses.
No excuses,
So-
bro.
Slay the dragon. So Captain Shelley texts with a whole bunch of CVs. She's like, here you go. Here's a bunch of CVs. Now get out of my face, you kimono sexy man. And
No
then-
dragon.
I'll take that kimono and I'll gag you in the mouth with it and do all sorts of things with your body. Be careful. Wow.
Hi, this is Shelley. I've got some CVs for you. Also, I've got a meeting request for time to watch you try on kimonos.
Here's some CVs, as in you can see my V, if you catch my drift.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So Harry finally comes in to talk to the captain. He's like, guess what? It's not fractured. The doctor just said don't do anything on a boat. And he's like, great. Well, let's find some things you can do, maybe in the galley, making beds, things that will make me not fire you. He's like, oh, right, got it.
Maybe one thing you can do is, I don't know, talk with Brianna about that kiss. She seems to be bothering everyone about it. She's even pestering the kiss. So could you just sort of tie that one off? Thank you.
So now we get one of my favorite things in Below Deck, where it's like the truth behind the artist. So Laura is doing a Monte Carlo night, and she's like, it's Monte Carlo. It's black tie themed dinner. My creativity definitely comes from my mum. She's very good at art school, drama, that kind of area. I just loved all of that stuff, which has led me to rolling napkins with coins around napkin rings. I mean, I'm basically the Picasso of my neighborhood these days. Mom is so proud.
I know. That feeling of when you put on the perfect theme, that feeling of just knowing that you've done it. It's a very close second to sex. That's why I always orgasm whenever I put up a black balloon on casino night. Oh, yes.
Unwrapping. Just imagine this. You're unwrapping something flat, and then you grab both ends of it and pull them towards you. Just pull it, and it unfolds into a giant 3D strawberry. Now that is just like sex. Like,
have you ever?
They show she's like, what I do is art, and then they start showing pictures, and it's like those paper decorations hanging from ceilings.
Yes.
Like, wow, you really big lots it out. Congratulations.
Let me tell you something. Nothing gets me wetter than putting up streamers. Also, like, we have a real decline in our Below Deck trauma backstories, because like a few weeks ago, as Marina saying, my grandmother paid for everything. She had to do everything. She worked her entire life, so that way all 15 of her children could have a life to live. And then today, it's like, my mother loved art, so I love art.
Well, and also Marina, she's like, I love scuba diving because my dad took me. I'm like, hello, none of you are fucked up enough to be on this show.
I know. Can we please, we need to, go back to the heydays of the last season of Below Deck Down Under, when you had Adam, who was like, my mom, I just want to buy a house for my mother. You're like, okay, relax. He's like, oh, gosh, I raised all my brothers. I raised them all. I was like a father to my brothers. It's like, we need some melodrama,
Yeah, I need children who have been left behind. We don't even have a guy with bad tattoos this season, do we? I think everybody is like tattoo free and kind of like, it's weird. I don't know. I don't know if Disneyland started casting this, but you guys, I need some trauma. I need some drug addiction. I need some abandoned children. I need some dead parents. Stat. Come on.
Also, did you know that I think, oh no, for a moment I thought that Gail and Nathan got married from Below Deck Down on, Med, but maybe they're still just dating hot and heavy. Someone online made it seem like they got married, but they're not married at all.
Someone just had a baby in the Below Deck world too, but I forgot. I don't know. I scrubbed their names out of my memory.
Below Deck,
they're out of my DVR once the season's over. There's too much Below Deck, but somebody did. I was like, wow.
Someone must have had a baby somewhere along the way, whatever. But you know what? The point is bad tattoos. We don't have a lot of them this season. The other point is more trauma. More trauma. Gail had a really good one. Gail's was she was always trying to impress her dad, and that's why one day she dropped an anchor on her foot. So, right? Wasn't that her thing?
I forgot Gail. I don't remember her.
She was like super, super hot, but she was dated. It doesn't, honestly, I don't even care. People will look, just when you Google her, it's Gael.
Ben, do me a favor. No excuses.
Slay the dragon, bro. Slay that dragon. Oh, yeah, your mom loved art. Slay that art dragon, bro.
Slay the mom dragon. So Serena is radioing for people to wash her kitchen. And then Harry is going into the kitchen. There's a big mess. And he's like, oh, my God, fucking hell, this is messy. Anthony wasn't lying about this. Excuse me, you started some of this drama, sir.
Yeah.
Last week. So don't you complain. Enjoy
100%.
the weeds that you sowed.
Yeah. So then Zarina is getting her grilled cheeses ready. And she's like, Casino Royale to me is elegant. It's refined. It's grilled cheeses submerged in soup that'll make you have stinky thoughts for the next 18 hours. So it's drinking champagne in the French Riviera. It's eating heavy hot soup with oodles of melted cheese in it and bread and onions, more onions than you can ever imagine. That's sophistication. That's the French Riviera.
I'm not just serving grilled cheese. I'm serving grilled cheese without crust.
Elegant. Monaco. Serena.
So at the table, they're like, oh my God, it's so hot. Why is it so hot out here? And Jason comes to the table and the French onion soup is served with the toasties in the middle. And everybody just stares at it. And Laura's like, oh God, onion soup is not pretty. Let's be honest. I mean, some chefs get defensive about their food and Serena's insane. So I'm not really sure what to do, but I can't wait to say nothing about this.
Yeah. And on top of that, these guests they are not touching carbs. I mean, Eric, he was like, I'll have a latte, but not as long as it's not more than 30 calories. So like, this is their worst nightmare. So of course they are staring and they're like, don't know what to do with it. And it's also hot as fuck. No one wants to eat this soup.
One of the guys is like, is that a cheese sandwich and soup? She's like, it is. It's French onion soup with truffle Parmesan toasties. And he's like, oh God, I can feel the sweat going down my spine. And another one's like, yeah, it's pretty heavy. And the main guy is like, this shit's so heavy, I would never even let it in one of my seminars. Hey, could someone give this soup a bracelet that says, lose some fucking weight?
Slay the dragon. Slay the onion. So then Laura's assigning people to go clean up cabins and stuff, and then Vian is he's shirtless with a bow tie on, and he's bringing Zarina some sort of can, and they like open it together and they giggle, and he's like hot, and she's like, he's being flirty, because he's checking out like as long as I didn't get Brianna, who's my next option. So Zarina is like, she gets really I guess you could say motivated. She gets horny. She's horny. When guys come into her galley, she gets horned up. We saw this all last season when Culver kept going into her galley to eat snacks. And she was like, oh, I got this muscly man coming in to eat celery sticks. It's just a little bit hot. The flirtation's a bit hot. It's like, they just want their food.
I get it. She's stuck in a galley all day. She doesn't get to like commingle with everybody like everybody else. I mean, it's like me. I don't do any commingling. And I have a TaskRabbit coming today and I shaved my nuts. Like, is it sad? No, yes. Is it logical? It's completely not. I'm not going to do anything with the TaskRabbit, but I found a hot TaskRabbit. At least his picture says he's hot. And you know what? That's it. I took a shower.
Just in case.
I deodorized. I'm wearing completely clean clothes, clean underwear. I mean, it's crazy over here. So
you're getting ready.
He's going to show up. I'm going to have a tie on. I'm going to be like, hello. Come in, please. Would you like to sit down? Need any dinner? Mm-hmm.
Well, you never know what will. You always be prepared, So Vian's like, oh, you've really outdone yourself. And she's like, well, I don't think so, honey, but that's very sweet of you to say. So we should probably get married soon. He's like, can I have snacks? Yes. So, meanwhile, she's gonna be serving up filet mignon, carrot puree, red wine jus, and a Parmesan crisp.
And so now dinner is served and douchebags over there like, yeah, millennials, like we had to work hard. What the fuck are you talking about? People have been complaining about millennials for 3 decades, sir.
I know. Where'd this come from? You don't get to steal like the Gen X. Like this is like Gen X is having the we worked hard moment. I mean, listen, you don't get to say that we worked hard until you're at like at least 50, which is why all the Gen Xers are doing this now. But but as a millennial, like no.
Gen Xers are ridiculous too, and we fucking know it because we had whole movies made about how lazy we are. Well, I'm a Gen Xer. Yes. You're a millennial, right? But Gen Xers like had whole movies like Reality Bites about how lazy we are and how uninspired we are. Yeah, and now we're like, oh, we had to do everything ourselves, and we're full of shit. And so we're millennials. I think it's just nature, where young people are like, old people suck and they smell, and old people are like, these kids, we had to work hard in our day. It's all a lie. Humanity is known for being fairly lazy and good for nothings until we're too old to actually do anything, and then we complain that we worked harder than anybody else.
This is just an example of someone trying to put some space between him and Gen Z, right? Because Gen Z is currently they're the punching bag for our laziest. So he's like, guys, millennials, we had to work hard, you know, like the kids that are growing up now, they're weak. Those are weak kids. Yeah. So and then someone goes, yeah, because you know what? You're in an alpha-less, just testosterone-less society of weak men, except for these boys.
Oh, God. What douchebags. So then, they're complimenting each other. They're like, yeah, you guys look good at least. At least the staff looks good. So then someone's like, looks like that steak has an au jus on it. She goes, yeah, it's carrot puree and Parmesan crisp. It's like, oh, you ruined our only protein with sugar and Parmesan.
Did you put some au jus on this? I love you put au jus on this. I don't know why that's so fun to me. There's some au jus. I think because the O is like the AU part is like a
au jus.
It's like it's served au jus, but like it's jus that's on it, not au jus. Did you put some au jus? It's like saying, did you put some on top sauce?
And one of the guys, yeah, I call it on top sauce because that's what I am, on top.
No excuses.
But one of the guys is like, yeah, this fucking generation, all they're obsessed with is fame. Can you imagine living a life where all you care about is money and celebrity? And one of the friends goes, yeah, that's just fucking disgusting. Okay, people who just paid to be on a boat so you could increase your celebrity. You're such a fucking hypocrite.
No, it's more than that. Well, he says, it's more than just that he paid to be on a boat. He has a videographer who is hired to trail him at any single thing he does. Like, get my calves, bro. Get my calves coming up the stairs. Get my calves. And he's saying like, yeah, man, the pursuit of money and fame is one of the two lowest vibrating forms of energy. No wolf wants that. A wolf already is famous in his own heart.
Such low vibrations, bro. So Captain Jason is not impressed with these people or this dinner. He's like, 10 out of 10 is flavor, presentation, gold kimono. But this was about a 7 out of 10. I mean, we hit some points, the guests seem happy. They also seem completely ridiculous. But they're happy. And I know it's a tough time for Serena, but the food has still got to be 100%. I need Serena's food to be as good as she is crazy.
Yeah. So everyone takes a group photo, and then everyone's gonna wake up at like 5:45 a.m. And so Zarina's asking like if the guests were happy, and Captain Jason's like, well, they're all very fitness oriented, so they're not eating a lot of carbs, and the soup was just like a big bowl of bread with soup in it. It's just like a lot. So read the room, read the preference sheets. If a douchebag comes on, just see what a douchebag would want to eat and think about that. Okay. So yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, and the filet mignon should have been seared. And she's like, I tried to sear it. And he goes, you couldn't get it hot enough? She goes, no, I mean, it gets hot. It's just that I didn't want to burn it. And he's like, okay, well, we're going to have to fight through these hiccups. I think it's very natural that a 5-star chef doesn't know how to sear a filet mignon. So that's something I can work with, thankfully.
Yeah. See, the other thing, when you get rid of Anthony, Zarina, now all of your flaws are on display. And the fact that you said you were afraid of burning the steak, that's really bad if you're a professional chef, if you don't understand how to sear versus burn.
Yeah, oh my God, it's just rough because, first I had Anthony in here questioning my food, and now I've got him in here questioning my food, and then make less questionable food. And I'm not saying that that's okay for Anthony. You should have just told Anthony to shut up. But
yeah, Exactly. So now it's 10:23 p.m. and Brianna and Harry are in a break room. And he's like, do you need a hand? She goes, literally one hand. Ha, 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 ha. He's like, oh, yeah, I get that. All right, excited for tomorrow night. Last time was fun. I enjoyed it. She's like, yeah, I had a great time. Yeah, I liked it. I'm not sure if you did as well. She goes, yeah, you did. Oh, I did. Are we talking about the kiss? Because I've been wondering, are we going to talk about the kiss at some point? I like the kiss. Are we talking about the kiss, right? Yeah, the kiss. Yeah, it was great. Would you like to do something on turnover day? Like maybe go on a date, something like that, you know? And she's basically, they flirt and he kisses her again.
Yeah, she's like, oh my God, thank God. I thought he was ghosting me. Oh God, thanks for your offer of one hand.
So then
they're actually kind of perfect together.
They are. And Brianna tells Lara, and Lara's like, get over here, my little baby giraffes. God, I'm going to really try to push that baby giraffe angle for a little while here, see if it catches on.
I feel like they're really perfect together, but I also feel like if they were like pioneer people in Lonesome Dove, they'd be the first people killed.
Probably.
They'd be like robbed and killed, like within
because they're weak. Because we're in
just always like goofily smiling. It's like when I went into that liquor store down the street from my place in LA that I lived for years. I went in, there was always this Russian guy who worked there. And one day he's like, listen, I like you, but please let me give you advice. This thing you do. I said, what? He goes, with your mouth. And I was like, smile? He goes, yes, stop that. And I said, why? I'm just being friendly. And he's like, don't do it. Where I come from, it makes you stupid. I said, what do you mean to make like stupid? Like I don't study because I smile. He's like, no, special stupid. I'm like, oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I'm an asshole.
Stupid.
But it's always kind of stuck. I still do it. I still walk in everywhere like, hi, how are you? But I've always thought about it. And I think about it when I see these two together. They're like, and I'm like, I'm going to rob them. Even I would rob them. I would push them down to the street and rob them.
Well, you know why? You know why you do that? Because we live in a society of weak, testosterone-less men who could be taken.
Where are the alphas? Where have all the alphas gone?
He'll find out where all the alphas are when he winds up eventually being convicted of fraud and sent to jail, and then he'll really be dealing with some alphas up his bumhole. God, so, let's be honest,
but the jail thing.
We all know that's his trajectory in life. That this is fraud happening here, right? This guy's going to jail. He'll be in jail soon. You just wait and watch. Then he can really talk about slaying dragons. So he probably listens to Imagine Dragons. He probably, that probably so many of his videos have like Imagine Dragons playing in the background. All those Imagine Dragons songs where they bang a big drum and they're like, So anyway,
they've probably got special security at their concerts. They're like, somebody's threatening to slay us again. The alpha's here.
Didn't they know there's no dragon here? We just told them to imagine them.
Congratulations, you've reached the end of part 1 of a 2-part recap. For part 2, go look for the recap that says part 2. See you over there, suckers.
Watch what Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Our way is the Amber way.
It's the Foster and the Furious. It's Amanda Foster.
It's always automatic with Ashley Auto.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Catherine DiBernardo has our hardo.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offutt. Dana C. Dana Do. We never miss her call. It's Diane Call.
Erin McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. Jamie, she has no last namey. You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones.
I go, you go, we all go for Hugo.
Hava Nagila Weber.
We could all learn from Jennifer Kearns.
She's our kind of mess. It's Jennifer Messer.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Knock, knock, knocking on Katie Mannock's door.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Get a bee in your bonnet with Lacey B.
Rigging the funk, it's Leslie Plunkett.
She gets an A from us. It's Lindsay D. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Fresh as a daisy, it's Maisie McHenry. We love her on the rocks, it's Melissa Cox. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
This is Living with Michelle Vivian.
I love ya, Olivia Williamson. Tastier than Flanderson, it's Rachel Manderson.
She sure is swell. It's Raquel.
Yes, we canna, it's Savannah.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman.
Let's share with Sharon Eldridge.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors. She's VVIP, it's Amanda V.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's got a leg up. It's Beth Ani.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Who, what, why, where, and Gwen Pentland.
It's our queen, it's Queen Laifah.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
We're ride or die for Lisa Ryder Barron.
She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy.
Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters. She eases our woes, it's Melissa St. Rose.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Couture. We love you guys.